Hey, Don here. Either your favorite or your most hated. Either way is fine with me. I always show stuff. Show and tell, boys and girls. Here's the New Testament from the U.S. Navy. I don't see a date. Oh, it's got a 1941 date there. So this may be on a World War II New Testament handed out to soldiers. They're probably not even allowed to do that anymore, although you can probably hand out the Koran or why Tommy has two daddies. This is the New Testament Boy Scout edition, Boy Scouts of America. This is back when the Boy Scouts were, guess what? Boy Scouts. Who knows what they are now? Genderless Scouts. I've got some other things from the Boy Scouts that I've collected over the years that are Bible related, but we'll just share that one here. And this is, I don't quite see that it's probably 1864. This is Civil War Bible. Oh, come on. And from what I'm reading, a Reb took this off of a dead Yankee officer, 1864. And it came with some paperwork to go with it. This is an actual Civil War Bible taken off of the battlefield. Bibles are just, I highly value them. I don't know how much value you guys put in stuff like this, but it's just, this is history. The Jew is history, Israel's history, the Bible's history. The rest, let's do a little bit more overview on Judges, and probably just something short here, but just some more information in Judges. Judges got a lot of neat stuff. How about Judges 18:18? And these went into Micah's house, and you can read the context for yourself, and fetched the carved image, the ephod, and the teraphim, and the molten image. Then said the priest unto them, what do ye? So you've got Judges 18:18. Now, the numbers in your King James Bible are important. I don't know how much you've studied those, but you study 13s, you study 5s, you study 12s, you study 10s, 18. The numbers you find in your Bible, even the number of verses many times, are very revealing, and it's mathematically impossible that the numbers should match up the way they do, but they do, because God set the whole thing up. Now, 18, of course, is 6 plus 6 plus 6, 666. So in Judges 18:18, you've got two rows of 666, 666 doubled. And notice that image there. That image shows up twice there. Look at Revelation 13. You know, I didn't even know that this was in the Bible. Just by faith anymore. Just by faith, I'm like, you know what? I'll bet this is right over there in Revelation. This will just line right up. And, you know, you don't even need a commentary for this stuff. You just need faith. You're like, yep, there it is, just like I knew it would be. Revelation 13. Revelation 13. Remember the 13s? Gee, what shows up here? Coincidence? I think not. And we'll start in 13 and talk about the Antichrist. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on earth in the sight of men. Or this is the... let's go back to get some context here. And I beheld another beast. Okay, so this is what you'd call the false prophet, coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon, and he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image. There's that image. To the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. Notice you've got this in 13:13. This false prophet showing up, and he's connected with this image. Notice verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as should not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Now remember, we were in 18:18, which is 666, verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. And this is all on the mark. Count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, not man, Iron Maiden. It's not the number. It's the number of man. No, it's not. It's the number of a man, Bruce Dickinson. And his number is 666. There's your 666, which matches your Judges 18:18. So I just thought that was a little more than interesting. Judges 18, back to Judges 18. And you're in 18. You can tell I don't practice any of this stuff. I wrote this down and we're going through it. So in 18, you're dealing with Micah, right? And if you're familiar with chapter 18 and his molten image and his priest and all the stuff that's going on, it's obviously a picture of a modern Roman Catholic, is it not? Unless you're blind as a bat. You've got a perfect picture of a lost Roman Catholic with his religion there. His religion all set up. He needs stuff. But what you may not have realized, focusing on the obvious Roman Catholic aspect of this, is something else. This is a perfect picture of the lost religious Jew after 70 AD to 2022, up until the rapture, into the tribulation. I say 70 AD because after the resurrection of Jesus Christ in 33 AD, the temple was still standing. So the priests were still there. And the show could continue until 70 AD, where all that was destroyed. And then they not only had the diaspora, and their temple was destroyed, along with everything in it, but the records of who the priests were destroyed. So they don't even know who the sons of Aaron are. And the Lord did all that in order to destroy their religion, so that they, might get saved. The religious Jew today, who is lost, wants to have a religion very badly. I don't know how many of you listen to like Michael Savage. His real name is Michael Weiner, and he's a Jew, very white, by the way. But yeah, he's a Jew. He's a full Jew, and very religious. And you could tell listening to him that he really has an inner desire, although sometimes he poo-poos it. He really does have an inner desire to know God and have God's protection, and he just really wants to have some religious belief of his father's that he could rely on. And it's very sad, it's just, it really is sad. If you've ever watched Fiddler on the Roof, it just breaks my heart, these precious people that they're hardworking, and of course the ones in Fiddler on the Roof, they're poor, just trying to get by, and then they have the situation of World War II come in, and they have no hope, and God doesn't, God's not going to protect them through that thing, and then when they die in the camps, they just go to hell thereafter. It's just very sad. Here's an 8-track. I'm very much into the Jews in Israel, like it or lump it. Just sad, very sad. And it should touch your heart too. Those are God's people, and they're the Bible people that you read about, and they're in such apostasy, and they're naturally religious, but they're lost, and they want to have a religion very badly that they can call Judaism. But the fact of the matter is that it's impossible for them to practice Judaism today. Sometimes I go back and forth with the Jews online, and I try not to, I try to keep it respectful. I understand, who I'm dealing with, but I try and joust with them a little bit to get them to think, in hopes that maybe one of them will start thinking and maybe get saved. Maybe somebody else lead them to the Lord. But they really do believe they have Judaism. They really believe that they have the old religion, and they don't. It's impossible. And that's the case with, Micah. Micah has this religion that's just a bunch of junk, a bunch of made-up stuff. And let's before I finish this thought on the Jews here, let's do a little reading here. Then answered the 5 men that went to spy out the country of Laish, and said unto their brethren, do you know that there is in the house, in these houses, an ephod, and teraphim, and a graven image, and a molten image? Now therefore consider what ye have to do. And they turned thitherward, and came to the house of the young man, the Levite, even unto the house of Micah, and saluted him. And remember, in these days there was no king in Israel. Every man did that which was right in his own eyes. Verse 16, and the 600 men appointed with their weapons of war, which were of the children of Dan, stood by the entering of the gate. And the 5 men that went out, that went to spy out the land, went up and came thither, and took the graven image, and the ephod, and the teraphim, and the molten image. And the priest stood in the entering of the gate with the 600 men that were appointed with weapons of war. And these went into Micah's house. Okay, so now they're going to go into Micah's house. And they can steal his religion now. They can't steal my religion. If you're saved, they can't steal your religion. And fetched the carved image, the ephod, and the teraphim, and the molten image. Then said the priest unto them, what do ye? And they said unto him, hold thy peace, lay thine hand upon thy mouth, and go with us, and be unto us a father and a priest. So you got the Catholicism there, you've got the Judaism. Is it better for thee to be a priest unto the house of one man, or that thou be a priest unto a tribe and a family? Money, money, money. And the priest's heart was glad, no doubt. And he took the ephod and the teraphim and the graven image, and went in the midst of the people. So they turned and departed, and put the little ones and the cattle and the carriage before them. And when they were a good way from the house of Micah, the men that were in the houses near to Micah's house were gathered together, and overtook the children of Dan. And they cried unto the children of Dan, And they turned their faces and said unto Micah, What aileth thee, that thou comest with such a company? Pretty bold, coming after these guys. And he said, Ye have taken away my gods. I mean, it's pathetic, but it's funny. Ye have taken away my gods. This is a picture of 70 AD. It's actually a picture of 33 AD when the veil of the temple was ripped in twain from top to bottom because their religion was taken. Ye have taken away my gods which I made, and the priest, and ye are gone away. And what more, and what have I more? And what is this that ye say unto me, What aileth thee? His whole life's ruined. And of course, the children of Dan tell him to go run off, or he's going to lose his life. Isn't that sad? That's the Roman Catholic. That's the, it's the Jehovah's Witness. It's the Mormon. You can steal their religions. And it's the Jew today trying to practice Judaism. You can literally steal his religion from him. And he doesn't have Judaism. For Judaism to be in operation, you must have a priesthood. You must have a priesthood, and they don't. They don't because they have no clue who the sons of Aaron are. They can't just make a pseudo-priesthood out of, oh, well, we think you're a good rabbi, and we think you're a good this, and we think you're a good man. And no, you've got to have men who are of Aaron, the priests. And they don't know who that is. You must have either a temple or a tabernacle. They will swap back and forth. They have to have either a temple or a tabernacle, and they can't do that because Muhammad stole the land where it is, where it's supposed to sit on. And this might be the whole entire, well, not the whole entire reason for God allowing the devil to bring along Mohammedanism, to keep the Jew off of that piece of property until he's ready for prophecy to be fulfilled, and then the tribulation temple will be built, or the tribulation tabernacle before the temple. In any way, they can't put their temple up. It's supposed to be where it's supposed to be, and it can't because the Dome of the Rock is on it. They must have all the tabernacle furniture, the brazen laver, the brazen altar, the candlestick, the ark, all of that. They need all that stuff. You can't just say, well, yeah, we got the building or the tent, let's go. You also need the proper tools, the proper furnishings. And they may have some of them. I think they have the candlestick and maybe a couple other things. But even if they have that, they don't have the building for it to go in. So there's another problem, though. Again, God messed them up. He made it impossible for them to practice their religion. God stole their religion, if you will. He stole their gods. Leviticus 16. There's a problem that they've got that I don't know how they would try and remedy this. I mean, I guess they had to remedy this after 33 AD when they sewed that veil back up and kept practicing their fake temple sacrifices and stuff after the resurrection. I mean, they kept that show going. So, but here's the problem. And there's quite a few verses on this, but I'm just going to read a little bit here. Leviticus 16, starting verse 11. And Aaron shall bring the bullock of the sin offering, which is for himself, and shall make an atonement for him and for his house, and shall kill the bullock of the sin offering, which is for himself. Now notice number one, you got to have these sacrifices if you want a sin offering and an atonement. Okay, so if God was even going to wink at their religion right now, which he wouldn't, you would have to at least have the blood of these bulls and goats and such, and lambs, doves and so forth, to make an atonement. They don't have that. Their traditions aren't going to aren't going to do it. And he shall take a censer full of burning coals of fire from off the altar before the Lord, in his hands full of sweet incense, beaten small, and the incense has to be done right, and bring it within the veil, and he shall put the incense upon the fire before the Lord, that the cloud of incense may cover the mercy seat that is upon the testimony, that he die not. And he shall take the blood of the bullock and sprinkle it. Now get this. Sprinkle it with his finger upon the mercy seat eastward. And before the mercy seat shall he sprinkle of the blood with his finger 7 times. There's blood spread around. If you read Leviticus, Deuteronomy, some of the places in Exodus, so forth, you'll see that this isn't just a clean operation. They're spreading blood around, and there's no direction for, okay, well, now that you've sprinkled blood on the mercy seat, now that you've sprinkled blood here and there and white blood on here and there, do you clean it? How would you clean it? Do you use a special water with a special towel? From all indication, the blood is gone. God takes the blood. It's just gone. There's no instructions for, hey, here's how you clean it. You don't clean it. So guess what would happen if you were faking this? You'd have a mess in a very short period of time. Then you'd have to make up how to clean it and call it kosher. Then shall he kill the goat of the sin offering that is for the people, and bring his blood within the veil, and do with that blood as he did with the blood of the bullock, sprinkle it around, and sprinkle it upon the mercy seat and before the mercy seat, sprinkling blood all over the place. And he shall make an atonement for the holy place because of the uncleanness of the children of Israel, and because of their transgressions in all their sins. And so shall he do for the tabernacle of the congregation that remaineth among them in the midst of their uncleanness. And you could read down through here. Here they're putting blood upon the horns of the altar. Here they're sprinkling blood with the finger 7 times. Okay, there's blood spread out all over the place. Blood wiped on stuff, blood sprinkled. So number one, they got to have a blood sacrifice. They got to have the sacrifice of these animals by the priesthood in the tabernacle or the temple, if they want to practice Judaism and pretend like their sins are forgiven. They don't have that. So they've had to completely make up a religion where there's no temple, no tabernacle, no priesthood, no furniture, no sacrifice, no nothing. And secondly, even if they could fake it, they'd have to spread blood all over the place, and they'd have a real mess real quick. And then they'd have to make up, now what do we do? How do we clean this up? So, kind of interesting. Something I saw here, what was it? 18. So you've got 1830 here. And the children of Dan set up the graven image. And Jonathan, the son of Gershom, the son of Manasseh. All right, that's what your King James Bible says. Now, if you've got a modern version, most of your modern versions, maybe all of them, say it's Moses instead of Manasseh. Son of Manasseh, they say son of Moses. All Hebrew manuscripts say Manasseh. They don't say Moses. Okay? Where's my finger? That's the right word, Manasseh. It's not Moses. If your so-called Bible says Moses right there, you've got a fake Bible. All Hebrew manuscripts say Manasseh, not Moses. It was the Talmudists and Josephus that put forth the theory that Moses was changed into Manasseh. The corrupt Septuagint of 200 AD, the Vulgate, not Jerome's Latin Vulgate, the Vulgate of 382, and the Syriac manuscripts that followed Origen's Hexapla, which we get the Septuagint reads Moses. So those are corrupt sources. And there's no proof that this Gershom here, there's no proof that this Gershom is the son of Moses. Gershom, the son of Moses, was himself named after another Gershom. And you'll find, if you look up 1 Chronicles 26:24, Shebuel is the son of Gershom, the son of Moses, not Jonathan. There's quite a bit in Chronicles. You know, you may think, First and Chronicles, okay. There's some nuggets in there that will back up your King James Bible and show you what's what. Sometimes you'll have a name show up that looks like, oh, was this such and such? And you find out, well, no, the names were repeated. Names were used, and it doesn't mean it's the same guy. But you can find the genealogy, and again, you can look at 1 Chronicles 26:24 on this as a cross-reference. And by the way, here's the. I'm gonna move my King James Bible over. I'm not gonna set this on here. Here's the New World Translation. Jehovah's Witnesses. So let's see what they say in 1818 or 1830. Here it is. For themselves and Jonathan, the son of Gershom, Moses' son. See that? So there's a corrupt reading. If you have a Bible that says Moses there, your Bible lines up with the Jehovah's Witness New World Translation Yuck Bible. So I thought this would just be interesting. This is a quick one. Have a good one.